everyone, this is Mama Bree and baby Nas. I have my youngest brother Amir with me today. And this video is about my first trimester, part 1. This is week 0 to 6. And about my first trimester, within the first 6 weeks, I didn't get an official babies usually don't have an official measurement until 4 weeks, which I didn't know at first. I felt fine for the most part. I felt fine for the most part. I was working still. At this time, I was still working as a cashier for CVS. I did have moments where I felt like very weak to the point of passing out. I never passed out, but it felt like I was going to. And if I didn't sit down or rest, it would just cause me to throw up. I had only one appointment within the first 6 weeks. My first appointment was, of course, confirming my pregnancy and a sonogram, but I guess it was too early to see anything. Like, they didn't see him at all at first. So I had to wait till my next sonogram to really see if there was any improvements of his growth at the time, even though of course it was really early. I believe when I had my appointment, I was 3 or 4 weeks, so it was still pretty early. I also told them about how I was feeling during work. They prescribed me with something called, I might be pronouncing this extremely wrong, but doxylamine pyridoxine. I'm not sure all the way, but it was supposed to help the nausea, especially at night and in the early morning. I was supposed to take it 1 in the morning, 1 at night. They also, they drew blood. They drew blood from me too. And later on prescribed me vitamin D because they said my vitamin D count was low. So I also had to take those. I also took vitamin B6. That also was supposed to help with nausea. You can take it along with the other prescription I put. They look like really similar, just one had numbers on it, one didn't. That's the only difference you can tell. And I had to start, of course, pregnancy vitamins. I did not do the pills. I'm gonna post pictures of what the pills look like. And at the time, I couldn't do big pills. I can do them now, but then no, I would choke. So I did the gummies. Over time, the gummies became nasty to me. Like, they made me feel sick. So I stopped them at some point. I can't say I remember when I stopped, but I stopped them after some time. And I didn't take them every day. I only took them when I remembered to take them. And I tried to avoid certain flavors because it definitely made me feel like I was going to throw up. My weight, of course, still early. I was still my normal weight at the time. I was in between 140 to 155 at most. It fluctuated between the two. And I usually kept record of my weight, but I didn't record all of them. Sometimes I forgot. Depending on what time my appointment was, I forget. And cravings, I was craving pickles by itself, because I know people usually have cravings for pickles and something else. I did pickles by itself. Chips Ahoy cookies with Reese's in it, Chips Ahoy Reese's, the chewy ones. Oh, I was tearing those joints up back to back. I had to stop myself from getting more because I was like, not trying to gain unnecessary weight on top of the baby. And Chick-fil-A frosted coffees and fries. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. If I had the chance to go to Chick-fil-A, I'm getting those too. I did not care for the sandwiches. I literally would just go for the frosted coffee and the fries. Something significant I would say from the first 6 weeks was me trying to make a game plan. Of course, one of them being eating right. Eating right, my work schedule. I tried to work as much as I could before I became big, but that did nothing. As for when like I said, I felt extremely weak while working. Like I would feel weak to the point like I felt like I was going to pass out, or I just kept having to run to the bathroom to throw up real quick. It just never really worked out. And then of course most mornings I just felt like, no, I can't do it. I can't. At some point in time, I did stop being a register cashier in the front end of CVS. I started working in a pharmacy, which is more high-strung, and I don't know why I put quotation marks, but it's high-strung in that sense for me. I don't have a problem with fast-paced, but fast-paced in pregnancy, it just didn't work out for me. But it was nothing I could do at the moment because it was paying more at the time for me. And I tried to get a job with high-paying money until I couldn't work no more. Back to the appointments. In the first trimester, I was scheduled, well, all women will be scheduled 4 weeks apart. 4 weeks apart. Because there's nothing really significant happening at the time. There's nothing significant happening in the time. So they don't want to keep bringing you in back to back for appointments when there isn't much growth happening yet. I tried my best to keep myself in a good position because Nasir was not my first pregnancy. I was pregnant before him and I had a miscarriage. And I cannot say how many weeks I was, but I never went past the first trimester with that one. And so I tried my best to keep myself in a good positioning where I'm not overworking myself, but I'm still like not trying to be lazy. Keep myself active so my body can function properly for the baby, if that makes sense. I'm sorry. Overall, of course, we made it through that. That was one of my biggest fears when I found out about my pregnancy, was being sure to make it through the first trimester. I mean, making through the pregnancy in general, but one step at a time for me. Right, now that is all for this video. We will see you next Wednesday. It will be part 2 of the first trimester, which will be weeks 7 to 12. So please stay tuned for that, and we will see you next time. You say bye-bye. You say bye-bye.